Howdy, y'all.
Hi, guys.
It's Ryan.
And Angela.
From RNA Music.
Yes.
Your favorite mom and pop guitar shop. And music lesson studio deep in the heart of Texas. That's where we are.
That's where we at.
And today is another Ask RNA, where you get to ask questions of me and Angela. And we're going to answer most of those.
Some of them.
Some of them. Partial answers.
A couple.
Let's get to it. All right, welcome to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe, click the bell, all that good stuff.
All the things.
Yeah, we what we do is we shoot all kinds of videos, really, but we do this once a week. We answer questions, Angela and I, from viewers all over the world. We also do other gear unboxing videos, some lesson videos,
Yeah.
vlogs of living here in East Texas, running a small business,
Yeah.
independent business owners. But today it is another Ask RNA, so we're going to answer some questions. Listen, we don't ask the questions. People ask the questions.
We talk about what you want us to talk about.
Some people were like getting tired of all the Gibson questions. I'm like, I'm not, this is our viewers asking. It's not me
Right.
secretly asking myself Gibson questions. But anyways, okay. First question. Let's get to it. Dave, how do you pronounce that, you think?
Weiss.
Weiss? Weiss.
Yeah.
It's like a Wise, but Weiss. Dave Weiss, question. I'm thinking of doing a Warmoth bass build. I realize this means no resale value, but I tend to keep basses. What are your thoughts on their bodies / necks? I definitely want to go with a company that will finish them for me. Thanks. Great question, Dave. He's talking about finishing, not put it together, but like paint type finish.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about paint or stains or any of that
Smart.
kind of stuff. So, you know, I have never built a Warmoth guitar,
Yeah.
Dave. Now, I have never really heard anything bad about them. I've always heard good things from people I know that have done it, ordered the necks, ordered the bodies.
Right.
I think there might even be a Strat around here somewhere that's a friend of mine's consignment guitar. I think he might have got it from Warmoth, maybe. But
Yeah.
I've never heard anything negative about it, but I've also never purchased anything from them either. So it's hard for me to say, yeah, it'll be great. But I think that's a great thing for you to do, man. I mean, why not? If you want to try your hand at kind of assembling, putting together everything, I think it's a great experience for you. And you can really also have a little bit more control of exactly what you want. You know, you could sort of do a semi-custom.
Right.
So, you know, yeah. I haven't heard anything bad, but for all of you guys and gals who are viewing this, I'm sure we have a viewer somewhere who has already done this.
Right.
So we would welcome your comments below in the comment section of this video about your experience with Warmoth and how it went and, you know, what you learned. So if you would share that here, hopefully Dave can read those comments when this video comes out. But keep us up to date, you know. Come back later once you've done it and leave some comments and let us know how it went, Dave. That'd be great to know. So thank you for the question. Next question.
Okay.
KD Rake 777. Is that right? That's K Drake. K Drake 777.
I was like, what?
You said that earlier. You're
I
like,
did.
Now I'm like, I like KD Rake
Yeah.
instead of K Drake. It's hard, you know, it's YouTube names. It could be,
It could be anything.
you know, Mr. Sassy Pants 47.
Yeah.
You know. He says, Riff City is going out of business. Do you think Chapman Guitars was part of their downfall?
Downfall is a really harsh word.
Yeah, that's you know. Let's see.
It's like an empire, the
An
down
empire.
bar.
They were, you know.
They were the Luke Skywalker to their Death Star.
Yeah. Or the, who eventually made, well, Rome.
Yes.
The reason Rome fell was
Yes.
Rome.
Was Rome.
Rome fell because of Rome.
Yes.
Not
pride
because of
goes
somebody
before
else.
Fall type
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. So downfall, yeah, a little harsh.
Yeah. Was it part? You know, I don't know. It's really conjecture at this point. Without me like looking at their books, like if I could look at their accounting.
Yeah. Or even if it's not even necessarily accounting, it could be just like, it was a good run, or
Yeah.
I don't really care to do this anymore. hey, let's move somewhere fun. You know,
Let's do
it could
something
be anything.
else.
It could be. There's so many different factors. We know people or even local people who've gone out of business, and it's just because it was tiring.
Yeah.
You know,
Businesses open and close all the time. You know, so
all the time.
And music stores open and close all the time.
They do.
So like there's several other music stores I know of that have closed, went out of business, shut their doors, and they weren't Chapman dealers.
Yeah.
So I don't really think one particular brand, it shouldn't, right? If your store shuts down because of one brand that you carry, I don't think that's quite right.
Right.
Like it's never one brand, you know.
Yeah. It's never just one thing either.
Yeah, it's never just usually one thing. But I mean, they carried a lot of brands. They carried PRS. They carried, you know, Fender. They carried a whole lot of brands other than Chapman, right?
Right.
So, was it part of it? You know, I'm not into blaming other people for things. Like if your business closes, or your sports team fails, or your church isn't doing well, or your organization isn't performing, you know, I think self-reflection is always the best thing. You know, blaming other people for your problems, I think is a short-sighted way to look at it.
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, was it a bad business decision on their part? I don't know. Again, I don't think any of us, the only person who knows that is Joe, but
Right.
you know, I can't see how it really would be. You know, because I know stores that have been around for 30 years that have carried all kinds of brands and dropped all kinds of brands and been dropped by brands that have been in business forever. So it was like people who were Fender dealers, no longer Fender dealers, but yet their store still continued to prosper and grow.
Right.
Carried Gibsons, didn't carry Gibsons. Whatever, you know, I know a store that were like the #1 Taylor dealer, like in Northeast Texas, and the company did something that they did not like.
Right.
And they said, screw you guys, we're dropping you. And they dropped them because of some political stuff. And they said, hit the road.
Jack.
And that store's, you know, they dumped a top selling brand that they were the #1 dealer for in the area. And they dropped them. And they're still doing great. They just picked up another brand.
Right.
There's plenty of guitar brands out there. Plenty of guitar companies out there. There's no shortage of guitars.
Right.
So, you know.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all we can say about that.
That's about all I can say about that
Yeah.
right now. But thanks for the question, K Drake 777. Next question, James Harrell, #Texas Woman. Bowling for soup implies you can miss your exit and drive right across the Lone Star State. Is that true? Ohio man wants to know. I think they exaggerated a little bit. You can miss an exit, but there's a lot of exits. Yeah, if you miss about 400 exits, you'd have to miss about 400 exits to go straight across, or more.
Or more.
Maybe 700 exits to drive straight across Texas.
Into Mexico.
And not, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, if someone leaves Texas and they accidentally end up in Ohio, it wasn't an accident.
Right.
That girl left. Come back to Texas. I love that song though, Bowling for Soup.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. That's a
Not
fiction.
so much.
That's a fictitious answer.
Yeah. It's funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I love that song. Everybody should go listen to Bowling for Soup right now. What's the name of the song? I forget.
I have no
Come Back
idea.
to Texas.
All I know is the Phineas and Ferb song.
Phineas and Ferb. That was one of their better
Only
songs.
thing I know them for.
One of their better songs.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, James. Appreciate the question. Next question. S. Paul Guitars. Ryan, that is a beautiful PRS. Are you going to swap the pickups or leave as is? Well, S. Paul Guitars was talking about my Custom 24 30th anniversary PRS SE that we were talking about last week. That has a trim.
Yeah.
It does a thing.
All right.
Thank you, S. Paul Guitars. You know, I think this was the least popular color of all the 30th anniversary SEs that came out. It was this funky brown.
Like tobacco brown.
Yes, which is I think probably why they had a couple left a year later, and the store that was selling these blew them out at a ridiculous price, which I was so excited. That's the reason I bought it, because it was a stupid good price. I actually really do like this color, honestly. It reminds me of my very first electric guitar that I no longer own. So, I will probably not swap the pickups. I've been pretty happy. I've been pretty satisfied with the pickups that are here. I don't know which specific ones are in this, because I forget what year this is. 3 years ago?
I think so.
3 or 4 years ago. I don't know. But I've been really happy with it. I really have no complaints about this particular PRS SE. At all. It's great, and I do like the color of the pickups, and it's the little zebra pickup thing. But they sound awesome. I don't really foresee changing them for anything.
Right.
I like it, so I'm going to leave it as it is. No plans to change. So thank you for the question, though. Appreciate the compliment. I say compliment on my PRS. I really like that guitar. I honestly play this one more than my S2 PRS, which the S2 is the American-made one, and this is a Korean-made PRS SE. For some reason, I end up playing this, probably because it's lighter by a little bit, and has the best trim ever. Okay, next question. Walking Dead 1369 hashtag Texas woman. Okay, Ryan. Natalie Portman is the new Thor. Thoughts? LOL. Thanks for the question, Walking Dead. Next question. No, okay, so if you guys, maybe you guys are or are not into Marvel movies and Comic-Con stuff, but at the San Diego Comic-Con, this is where they announce all the new comic nerd stuff. Movies included. They released the plans for Marvel Studios Phase 3, I guess, or Phase 4. Phase 4. All the new movies and TV shows coming out from Marvel.
Sure.
And so the new Thor movie, Thor 4, More Thor, is called Thor Love and Thunder. And the premise they kind of let slip is that Natalie Portman is going to become Thor, sort of. They're modeling. There was the comic book that came out a year or 2, 3, 4 years. I don't even know now. There's the comic book series where Thor, Odin's son, became unworthy to wield the hammer, and so a new person came and picked it up, and it ended up being Jane Foster's character, who had cancer. She had like terminal cancer. But for whatever reason, she was worthy, and when she picked
probably
up...
from the dark matter. That she
probably
has.
dark matter. Probably just because she's... I don't know. But, she picked up the hammer, and of course, it gave her the power of Thor, which is in the comic series, that's how it was. When Thor was in his human form, he was just like a dude. Like a normal dude. And when he picked up the hammer, that's when all this power and strength and everything came from. So there was a comic series, and then for a while there was their female Thor, and everybody's like, "Oh, Thor's a girl now." And it's like, well, he wasn't really. He just lost his title. He was still in the comic,
right?
Thor Odin's son, but he no longer wielded the hammer.
He wasn't.
And she did, and of course she was doing chemotherapy, but every time she picked up the hammer and became Thor, it reversed the chemo, the god of thunder. It reversed her chemo, and every time she went back to being human, she was even more sick, and so it was this real whatever.
Because it's not really that she's becoming Thor.
Yeah.
Thor is his name, like Dave.
Like, it was a title. She was,
Thor isn't the title.
Yeah. Thor is his name.
Thor is his name.
God of Thunder.
Jason. It's God of Thunder is the title. So and that's attached not necessarily to Mjolnir, because they debunked that in the Thor movie, Ragnarok. He didn't need the hammer because he is the God of Thunder. It's the worthiness, I guess, that makes him the God of Thunder.
I don't know. See, they messed it all up.
I don't know.
They're messing everything up. But that's the comic. There was a comic book that came out.
Jane, Goddess of Thunder.
Jane Foster, Goddess of Thunder.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yeah.
The only one worthy to wield Mjolnir. So, I'm not excited Walking Dead necessarily, because I've actually got a couple of issues of that comic, and because I'm a fan of the Thor the comic and some of the movies. But
Yeah.
that comic was very divisive. There was a lot of controversy about it and a lot of, stuff going on. It honestly ended up not doing very well. Like, it didn't sell a truckload of comics.
Yeah.
So I do kind of find it interesting that they're going to base a movie off a storyline from the comics that did not go over very well. When there's a whole bunch of other storylines they could have chose from the comics. Now, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is not the comics.
Right.
Those
Everything's
things don't
on a female tear right now. Everything is on a female tear where, everybody's getting this female makeover, which is stupid to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, leave it alone.
Yeah.
It's just like making G.I. Joe Duke a girl when there's plenty of girl Joes that are...
There are girl Joes.
I know, there are plenty of them that are awesome Joe.
Jinx?
Jinx
was a ninja Joe.
So it's like, don't. Why? I mean, Anyways.
Yeah.
But this is the reason why. And because Disney owns it, they're definitely going to do that.
They're pushing it. And I heard, too, that they were going to confirm, there was rumors that Valkyrie, Tessa Thompson's character, was bisexual. Which I think is in the comics. But,
she's like a warrior woman. She's not really human.
Yeah. She's a Valkyrie.
Right.
Amongst a huge group of only women
She's more
warriors.
Like an angel who's like non-sexual, like not like human.
Yeah, well, she's not human. That's for sure. She's Asgardian. But
right.
They're saying that they're going to kind of confirm that because they kind of skirted that. They cut some scenes from Ragnarok that implied that.
Yeah.
For political reasons, I guess. But they're going to confirm it in this one because she's the new sort of king of Asgard, right? Because Thor left it in her hands, and so she's searching for her queen.
Right.
So they're going to be kind of throwing that in there.
So is Natalie going to be her queen?
I don't know. That's the direction they're going to go, or how's that? I'm like,
who knows,
dude? I'm just like into Thor. Like, let's follow Thor Odinson around. That's I'm not really excited. I like Thor, the first one, and actually Dark World, because I thought those were very true to his character.
Yeah.
As soon as they went into Ragnarok, there's parts of Thor Ragnarok I liked. Parts of it I like, and there's about 50% of it I don't like, because I really don't feel like it's true to the character.
Right. It didn't make any
at all.
sense. Like, none whatsoever.
That's not... I mean, I realized Thor Dark World commercially didn't do really well, and maybe Chris Hemsworth, they talked about he was kind of bored of playing the character. He didn't like... the way it was going. But I was like, that's the character, though, dude. Like, if you go back and read the comics, he's not a comedian. He's not a comedic.
No.
Spider-Man's kind of funny and quippy. And has always been cracking jokes. Yeah. But it's like, they're changing the character. And I'm like, I don't really like that.
They changed a lot of stuff from... I mean, and it's across the board, I think, in all movies and stuff. That it's just an overreach... for whatever reason.
I think they're trying
making everything bad.
Yeah, I think they're trying to cater to the audience instead of
being
staying
true
to the character, I relate it, I always come back to it. It's like trying to go watch a Sherlock Holmes movie where he's stupid.
Right.
Like
where he's a bumbling idiot.
He's an idiot.
Right.
I'm like, that's not what Sherlock Holmes is.
Yeah.
He's a freaking brilliant guy.
The TV series Holmes and Watson, or one of those from CBS, that the young British guy and Lucy Liu was Watson.
Oh yeah.
He's kind of like that. Like, not a bumbling idiot, because he's still very intellectual, but they played a whole lot more on the fact that he was an addict.
Oh.
That he did recreational drugs.
Right.
And he... Even though the main character had moments in the books where he did do some things for purely scientific reasons.
Well, the movie with...
Right, with Robert Downey Jr. He did that.
Touched that, yeah.
They did touch that. But he did it for scientific reasons. It wasn't literally just because he was in pain.
An addict, yeah.
And Benedict Cumberbatch's character, they would say it every once in a while, but it was the fact that he was intelligent no matter what.
Yeah.
It wasn't the fact that he was a complete ridiculous addict. But this one, he's like going to meetings, and it's like all about that. It's more about his recovery and mental health than it is about him being a complete genius.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's just a little too political and trying to get the flavor of the season that we're in to make it
Battery's
relatable,
about to
I guess.
die. Yeah,
I'm
really.
like, yeah, because it hasn't been relatable for like the past 100 years that it was written. It's lasted this long without anybody touching it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of coming in and completely changing characters, like personalities, like completely changing it to something. It was like that's not him.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, like the public, may like it and enjoy it,
right,
at large. But I'm like, but that's not really.
It's like them coming back and doing Little House on the Prairie and Laura Ingalls as a boy.
Yeah. Or her character, or her personality is completely different. Like that's not.
Yeah.
That's not even.
Like she's a horrible, horrible child. Like she's Nellie instead.
Yeah. Like, I gotta change the battery on the camera. We'll be right back. New battery in the camera. All right, that's enough Thor stuff.
Okay.
That's probably way too much Thor. But,
way too much Thor.
Whatever. Next question. Joseph Revels. Hashtag Texas woman. Bark at the moon. Mm-hmm. And hashtag love the lollies. What's y'all's favorite conspiracy?
Oh, Lord.
Because we talked about that last week, about watching conspiracy videos, conspiracy theories, the whole moon thing. So, what's your favorite conspiracy?
Flat Earth.
Flat Earth?
Mm-hmm. You know that.
I know that. They don't know that.
100%.
Yeah?
It's the most entertaining, the most intriguing. I can watch videos about it all day, obviously.
Yeah, I know you can. And I, by default, have had to watch a lot of Flat Earth things, which sort of ties in the moon landing thing, too.
Yeah,
those kind of cross.
It does.
They definitely cross.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of feed each other, so.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my favorite. That, and let's see, what would be another one? I'm not I don't know. Some of them are just dumb. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Mm-hmm. Like, why would you, spend that much time of your, kind of stuff? But I don't know what another conspiracy would.
Yeah, I haven't really.
Because that's the newest, hottest one. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been going now strong for 4 years. So.
Like on YouTube, there's a lot of videos about it.
And no, they have like huge conferences now.
Yeah.
They've gone from YouTube to now conferences. So they'll go to and have like 1,000 people show up to these conferences and
to talk about it and discuss it.
So that's my favorite.
Yeah, I find it interesting too. Mm-hmm. At first she said something to me. I'm like, that's stupid. This is the dumbest thing I ever heard. Come on. And then I'll tell you this, and you're probably thinking the exact same thing. Like, this is stupid.
They're like, oh God, no.
You can't even like. But do this. Go look up a couple of videos and watch some videos just for like, all right, I think these people are stupid. Yes. There's no way this is right. But let me listen to them and let me see, how did they arrive at this conclusion that seems so preposterous? Like, how could you even possibly believe that? How did they arrive there? Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, the videos are disappearing because YouTube is deleting them.
YouTube is deleting it, yeah.
So anytime now, which is another conspiracy, conspiracy within a conspiracy.
That YouTube's trying to hide things.
That YouTube is trying to hide it. So now when you actually search in the search bar, flat Earth theory or conspiracy or however you want to word it, all you see are what the media is saying about it and debunking, like saying how stupid it is. You don't see a single actual conspiracy theorist at all.
Who's pro flat Earth.
Yes.
And like giving you reason behind it. Really? Well, I haven't looked
100%. Hulu has a flat Earth movie now, and Netflix has a flat Earth movie now, making fun of flat earthers. So it's like, don't do that. Because then, like, why would these huge, giant conglomerates, well, now that Disney owns Hulu, because Disney was one of the backers for the space race. Walt Disney himself was one of the backers for the space race. And, like, you're not helping the situation, So it's like this, now it's become, like, an even bigger thing because they see all these, they're like, why would you make fun of it if there's not a little bit of truth to it? So, and, like, Hollow Earth and... just all those, like, interesting, like Antarctica and
Yeah. Why can we not fly over Antarctica?
yeah. It's interesting.
Why is it illegal to explore
It's
Antarctica?
like watching like real life X-Files.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
Area 51.
It is, which without the alien stuff.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
For sure.
So there you go. Yeah, see, now I don't know where to point you to. If you wanted to go watch objectively, if you can go, like someone who's, is kind of making sense and using rational arguments to like, well, if you do this, go do this test, go do this test, go do this test.
Yeah.
And I've watched some of those where I talk about, well, the ships disappear over the horizon. It's like, no, they really don't, because if you get a super zoom lens, a ship that's over the horizon that you can't see anymore, and you zoom in, like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Well, crap. How did that zoom lens go over the curve? And with the rate of the curvature of the Earth, how come I shouldn't be able to see this thing that's this far away, but yet I can? So how's There's some interesting. If you can go watch,
it's very sciencey.
Yeah, it is very sciencey.
You have to do a lot of science tests, which I like.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It's pretty interesting. Anyways, all right. That's enough on that.
Now they're like, unsubscribe. They're crazy. Oh God, we didn't know what we were getting into.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I like watching.
Interesting.
I like watching.
Come on. Some people like watching serial killers. I personally don't like this. This is more of a interesting, like people binge watch that serial killer crap. Like I can't watch that stuff. It messes with your mind.
I don't like that either.
So this is entertaining and very like, it makes you think, and I like that.
And does it affect your everyday life?
No.
No, not really. Not going and paying your taxes. Your tax dollars at work, hiding things from us. Our government's never hid anything from us. Ever.
Never.
They're always 100% honest with the public.
It's America, for goodness sakes.
Right?
We don't have any secrets.
Home of the free, land of the brave.
Tisk, tisk.
Anyways. All right. Next question. Robert Hodges. Question, though you've probably been asked before. Seymour Duncan or Dimarzio? The real answer here, Robert, is EMG.
I think we have had this. This feels very familiar. I feel like I'm Groundhog Day.
We have had this. Between the two, I'm probably more of a Seymour Duncan guy. I don't think I don't own a set of Dimarzio's. I have played a guitar or two that's come through at some point with Dimarzio's, but well, actually, so CMG uses Dimarzio's on some of their guitars. We had a custom CMG Mark that came through that had the purple one.
Yeah.
That was really cool, and it had Dimarzio's in it. And I remember playing it, going, "Wow, this sounds pretty cool." But I personally don't own any. Most of my guitars that don't have EMGs, well, there's only one or two that don't have EMGs, but I have Seymour Duncan. So I'm probably at this point going to lean towards Seymour. Between those two, Seymour Duncan and Dimarzio, Seymour Duncan's.
Right.
I guess. Because I don't own Dimarzio's. But of those two, probably those. So there you go, Robert Hodges. Thank you. You guys answer below. Seymour Duncan, Dimarzio. You can only choose those two. Which would you choose?
Exactly.
Between those two. Okay. Next question. Tracy Johnson. # Texas woman. Here's my question for you, Ryan. Sorry, Miss Angela. Which is better, neck through, set neck, or bolt on? And do they contribute to sound? That's a hot topic as well.
Yes, it is.
For me, personally, I don't really care for bolt-on necks very much. I've never been a big fan of the bolt-on necks. And mostly it goes back to the older Fenders where they're the big blocky kind of bolt-on thing. Now I know that nowadays you can get a bolt-on neck that's contoured and very not blocky. And I've played a few. But I think I'm still stuck over in set neck or neck through land. And I own a couple of both of those. I have some guitars that are set neck, and I have some that are neck through. Lately, I've realized that my neck through guitars are significantly heavier than my
I can imagine so.
set necks. And so, even though I like the neck through, lately my neck and shoulders are like, hey, let's get a little bit lighter guitar.
Right.
Now, as whether they contribute to sound or not, that I think there's a little bit of debate about that, because you could go find videos, I'm pretty sure, where someone has a bolt-on neck and they play a note and it sustains for quite a while, and then they grab a neck through and they play a note and it doesn't sustain as long as that specific bolt-on does.
Interesting.
The general rule of thought is you get more sustain from a neck through because it's more wood mass,
right?
Which contributes to vibration. But I think that's a tough thing to say, because there are examples of like here's a bolt-on with way more sustain than this neck through over here. So I think it does contribute to a degree, but it's not the only factor that determines that.
Right.
So it really depends on the specific instrument. You could have something else with this guitar over here that's maybe dampening that.
Yeah.
And on this bolt-on over here, it's just the specific wood itself is a very resonant piece of wood. And so whether it has a bolt-on neck or not, it's going to resonate and have more sustain. So I don't think it really matters that much. It's not the sound issue. I think is very minor, and so I don't think that matters so much. Like you can swap your pickups and get a significant difference in sound.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
So I think the sound difference is minute, right? Compared to everything else that affects that stuff. So I'm not just diehard on any of them, except I just don't really like bolt-ons.
Right.
And I think it just goes back to being a kid and not really digging. Most of the bolt-on guitars I played when I was younger were cheap.
Right.
And so you sort of equate bolt-on neck with cheap, even though there are expensive guitars, custom shop, high-end, expensive stuff nowadays with bolt-on necks. I think it's just that association from being younger. But it's hard to say. I play my neck throughs quite a bit lately, but I'm also enjoying the set necks a lot too. So thanks for the question, Tracy. Very intriguing. There's a conspiracy about the bolt-ons being more sustained.
There you go.
You can find a conspiracy in anything. All right. Thanks for the question, though. Appreciate it. Next question, Denny's plant-based journey.
Nice.
Speaking of trims, what are your thoughts on blocking a Strat? I don't care for the Trem myself and much prefer playing my Telly as a result. However, my Strat has fantastic pickups. See, we're just talking about that. I've never set up a trim or done this kind of work on my guitar. I'm sure I could do it, but I don't want to screw something up. I need to adjust the action anyway, as the string height is a little much. What are your recommendations for blocking the trim? Yeah, it's not that complicated, Denny. There's a ton of videos on YouTube. You can just go type in how to block a trim on a Strat, and you'll find them very simple, very easy to do. You don't really need any special tools. You can use a block of wood. I've seen guys using like taping up some coins, like you get some nickels or some dimes or some pennies, tape them up, stick them in there, and you can block it. So you could totally do it. I've done it before, I think. I can't remember when. It's been a long time, but I've done it. But it's not rocket surgery.
Right.
It could be done. It's not rocket science. So, just Google it. You'll find some really good videos on it. Very simple. I think Ben Eller has a video about it that was really great. So check those out. Try it. See what you think. If you don't like it, it's very easy to reverse as well. Now, going back to the PRS, I think one of the reasons I end up playing this guitar more than my S2 is because it has a trim and the S2 doesn't. And this trim is super awesome. It's very, it doesn't knock the guitar out of tune. And I think that's what happens a lot of times, particularly on Strats. It seems like Strats, Fender Strats, even the nicer ones, the trims are just old technology, and so you can just go crazy on it and you're going to go out of tune. There's always exceptions. You may have one that's mine never goes out of tune. I'm like, okay, great, you got a good one, fantastic for you, good job.
Simmer down now.
But that's my recommendation, is go check out some videos, give it a shot, see what you think. If you don't like it, it's super easy to reverse. It's barely an inconvenience. If I can do it, you can do it. It's not anything crazy. But I've never been a big fan of those Strat trims myself. And PRS, for a non-locking trim, this thing is ridiculous. So I'm a big fan.
Popping and locking.
Popping and locking. Like it's hot. Thanks for the question, Denny. Appreciate it. Next question, GRRR. Grr. It's grr. Hashtag Texas Woman. If you could only buy one guitar ever and you wanted to play multiple genres of music from 12-bar blues to metal, what guitar would you get and why? Oh, man.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a very good question. I don't think, any one guitar is ever going to be the best at everything.
Right.
I think that's the problem. I think if you're going to play a lot of different styles, country, blues, jazz, fusion, metal, pop, bluegrass, classical, whatever, if you're trying to cover it all, I think no one guitar is going to be 5 stars at all of that stuff. I think you're going to be missing something somewhere. I only buy one guitar ever. Well, that's a good question. I think probably, and this is, obviously not a selfish question, because I would say a PRS would do a good job at covering a lot of those styles. Because a PRS is kind of, in a way, almost a hybrid of the Gibson school of thought on guitars and the Fender school of thought on guitars. So I think trying to cover a broad range of styles, you could probably do that job a little bit better on a PRS than you could, with a Fender guitar, a Tele style, Strat style, or like a Les Paul. I think if you get a semi-hollow PRS, and is it going to be 100% at all those different styles? No. But I think it's going to do a better job of covering more styles. Than the other. Yeah, and I think that's, I think that's easy because people associate so much, like blues a lot of times with Strats and Teles, and country with Strats and Teles, and rock with like Les Pauls and Flying V's, even though you play the blues on Flying V's, or Lucille, BB King's 335. I think a semi-hollow PRS would probably get you really far if that was your one criteria, that you want a guitar that covers so many different styles, because there are people who play those different styles on that guitar. That's my thoughts. Just my thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts? You tell us below. I'm sure you will. What guitar do you think would cover the most diverse styles the best?
Yes.
Great question. Thank you so much. Phone. We better go answer that.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, phone call. Also, you're probably going to hear a little bit of a hum in the background right now because we had to turn on the air conditioner. The central air is going now because it's quite warm in Texas.
It is.
Right now. So for the last 2 questions, you're going to have to listen to our air conditioner. I apologize.
I don't.
But yeah.
You ain't sitting here.
Y'all aren't here sweating in front of these lights and cameras and Texas heat. Next question. Sonic Grace. I agree I'm not so much of a brand person. What counts is how it feels and plays. Any brand can be made to play and sound awesome. But really, you like EMG over Seymour Duncan? Yes, I do. Absolutely 100%. And let me tell you why. Well, not only have I played EMG pickups for quite a long time, since I was a teenager, and I've played guitars with Seymour Duncans and other pickups as well. But as a retailer, as a small mom and pop shop, EMG pickups, I already play their stuff. I played their stuff before we were dealers, but as dealers, they've treated us so nice and so good. So good. Yeah, they have been fantastic to work with as a company.
Yeah.
Like really good. And so not only do I like their pickups and use them, But from a business standpoint, they've been a great company to partner with.
Right.
They've been really good to us. So I like them even more. Now, I don't know much about Seymour Duncan as a company because we're not dealers for them. Although, I do know people who have been endorsed artists with Seymour Duncan, and none of them will come out publicly and say it because that's just not how you do things.
But you will.
But they do behind doors or at NAMM. They go, yeah, it was a bad deal. They got treated not really well, which is why they left.
Right.
Seymour Duncan. Now, I've met Seymour Duncan himself at the Dallas Guitar Show a couple of times, and he's been very nice.
Yeah.
Chatted with me for a minute, chatted with my son, was very personable.
Yep.
So, as a person, the man, Seymour Duncan, I like him. Very nice guy. But he's not the guy running everything in the business. Like, he's not making phone calls, doing sales calls. He's not in charge of artist stuff and artist deals. And like, there's a lot of other people in that company running things. But for me, it tends to be, I'm just a big fan of EMG. Mostly because of how they treat us, but also because I do like using their pickups.
Right.
So if I could only play one of those for the rest of my life, I would pick EMG just because the people behind the brand matter. And as you said, any brand can be made to play sound awesome. No, those are your words. You said any brand can be made to sound awesome. So if that's true, the only thing really left is the people behind the brand and how they treat you.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day, if that's what you think. So, yeah, EMG's awesome. They're fantastic. Final question. Just Fun Guitar, which means he was the first to ask a question.
Oh,
because
how you
I
do?
ordered these in the most recent. So that means Chris from the England Shire was the first one to ask a question.
Sweet.
So thank you, Chris. Just Fun Guitar. New question. Ryan, if you had to choose between your guitars at this point, now that you have a fair few in your collection, I don't have a fair few. I have some. Which one do you love the most and why? Question number 2. Angela, have you ever seen a UFO? You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
No.
No.
No, I have not. I've been around people who have seen one, but they didn't know what it was.
An unidentified flying object.
Right.
It's a flying object that we could not identify.
Yeah. So
that's not a helicopter. It's not an airplane.
Yeah. There's been a couple of times where I've thought I've seen one because the lights looked so weird in the sky, but it wasn't, it was just like a low plane with faulty lights or something. I don't know. Maybe. But not per se like would be hovering there, like X-File-y type Unsolved Mysteries type thing where it just sits there and hums quietly and then zooms off real fast. Or like 3, triangle lights, formation like they always show in shows like that. No,
Something strange.
Something strange in the neighborhood.
That cannot be explained with your own eyes.
Right. No, I have not. I've looked many times since I was a child. I would always look up, hoping and praying one day I would be the one that could actually see one in person. But no. Never happened to me.
Anything on video can be manipulated.
Yep.
And that goes for anything. Whether...
Literally.
Yeah.
But no, I have not.
And neither have I. I'm going to go ahead and answer for me because I want to answer that too. No. Well, I've seen the flying things that I couldn't really tell what it was because it was so high.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming if it's that high, I can't make out it's probably a plane.
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan, if you had to choose between your guitars at this point, now that you have a fair few in your collection, which one do you love the most and why? Which one do you think I love the most?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, I know you
as
love
a casual observer.
I know
into
you
my
love
life.
Your the one sitting next to you. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I haven't really honestly paid attention because we're always in separate rooms when he's playing, and half the time I don't know what you take to church. So
yeah,
to play on. But maybe your Schecter or your Washburn that you recently got, or the PRS.
Yeah. Well,
there's not that Schecter, but another Schecter that you.
Yeah, there's a couple of Schecters.
Yeah.
Yeah, the maple fretboard Schecter. I do play that one a lot.
Yeah.
If I had to choose, it's like, do they all have to go and I can only keep one? Is that what you mean by choose?
Probably.
If I had to choose between my guitars, I would choose my Gibson Explorer.
Yeah.
Like that one's, I don't play that one necessarily a lot. I don't bring it to work very often at all. It stays at home. But that's the one that I probably, if I had to use the term love the most, it'd probably be that one.
Very sentimental.
There's a ton of sentimental value in my 91 Gibson Explorer that I bought in 1992 when I was 16 years old with my own money for my first job, bagging groceries. Got 66 hours in my first week of work. That's 26 hours of overtime in my first week of work as a 16-year-old kid.
I don't think that's legal.
Well, it's over. They paid me overtime.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that was a lot of.
I guess if they're paying you.
They paid you overtime. I don't know. Is there a limit to how much overtime you can work?
Now it is.
In 1992. So that one probably, if I had to get rid of every single guitar I had but one, that would be the one I would keep. Just, tons of sentimental value. But I'll give you the runner-up. Now it changes probably from day to day and week to week because I do have 13, 14 guitars, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know the exact number.
I think it is 14.
I think it's less than that. Currently, the one that sort of gets the most playtime, a recent, is I meant to do an unboxing of this one and I haven't, but it's a Schecter Solo 6 Custom. Now I have two other Schecter Solo 6s that are the Hellraiser Extremes. But this is a custom set neck. My other ones are Neckthrough. I should do a video comparing this one to the other ones, but it does have Seymour Duncan pickups, a custom, and a 59, which is probably my favorite combination of Seymour Duncans. And yeah, I like this one. This one has an interesting story. This one has an interesting story. I should probably share it in the actual unboxing video.
Yes,
I'll
please.
probably do that. But at the moment,
I've heard it.
You've heard it. You were there. You lived it.
I lived the experience.
You lived it, and you don't want to relive it, but you lived it. Currently, this is my one that I'm kind of picking up a lot, and I'll get into that probably in another video. So, but that could change next week. That could change later today. Last week I didn't play that one very much. I played, I think, one of my other Schecters, and I played my CMG a lot yesterday. Yesterday all day long in lessons was CMG day, so I played a CMG. But that's the one I keep grabbing a lot lately since I got it. It's always whichever one's the newest, and that's the one you kind of want to grab, I guess. But there you go, Chris. Thank you. Great question. I think the answer will always be the 91 Explorer because
definitely
so much sentimental value and memories with it.
Right.
That everything after that is kind of depends on the day or the week or the month.
Sure.
And that's all the questions for this week. I'm so excited I get to sit down and edit this now.
I'm so tired.
I'm so tired too. It's Friday.
Yes.
You'll probably see this tomorrow.
I have to go to Walmart.
Maybe tonight. Oh, we already went to Walmart. We went this morning.
Yes, I know, but I want to go. I need to get a candle.
Man, so much Walmart. All right, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't ever subscribed. If you have a question for next week, please leave it below in the comment section, and we will try to answer those questions. As always, your comments are welcome as long as they're respectful. We appreciate that.
Yes.
And I do try to read all of them.
Don't be crazy.
Don't be nasty. Let's try to all be nice. You can disagree with people, but
that's fine.
You can agreeably disagree with people, and that's okay.
Right.
If you're agreeable. Now, if you did make it to the end of this video, which these have all been running about an hour long for the longest time now, so it's not that big of a deal. But if you made it to the end, our special thing is we have a special hashtag of the day. that if you'll type that in your comment or question below, that kind of lets us know that, hey, you watched this whole stinking thing from the beginning to the end, like an hour-long RNA TV show. So today, what's our secret hashtag of the day going to be? Hashtag Girl Thor.
There you go. Let's do that one.
Or Flat Earthers.
I know. I'm not doing Flat Earth.
No, don't do that.
We'll get
our channel will get deleted by YouTube.
Our channel might get deleted. Yeah.
YouTube will suppress this video just because we talked about it. All right. So the special hashtag of the day is hashtag Girl Thor. I'm not excited about this hashtag, but it's fine. We'll use it anyways. Hashtag Girl Thor.
Yes.
And if you type that with your question or comment below, we'll know you made it to the end, which makes you a legend in our book. So thank you guys so much. And until the next video, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
The music needs you.
You need the music.
And we need to keep it alive for the next and coming generations.
Truth.
I'm so excited. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.
More Thor.